So why is it that you get different prices for the exact same product depending on where you look at this product at or where you sell it from? Well, this term is known as geographical arbitrage, where you can charge more in countries with more purchasing power, such as phones specifically. If you go to some countries, the same iPhone model may be worth a lot more or a lot less than it is in, let's say, the United States. An example from personal experience is that when I was in Argentina last year, I saw that the iPhone was worth around $2,000 to $3,000 for the base model. And that is just because of like the inflation rates there, and it's a little unique in the import taxes, but you get the point. The same exact product costs different in different countries. This is also common not just with physical products, but with virtual products as well. So if you want to buy that upgrade with a virtual product, let's say a VPN or a website hosting service, the price can be very different and sometimes even close to half of the price depending on what location and currency you choose. Don't believe me? Let me show you some examples. This is a website right here and it's called Cut. It's something that I am trying where you can translate videos and images from Chinese to English if they already have text on them. So instead of using, like Google Translate where it just has a horrible translation, it's not accurate and you can't edit the text or remove the text, this does it automatically. Well, little do you know that if you select to do Chinese, so in this case I selected this in Chinese, you can see that 180 days here is around 189 RMB. And what is that in dollars, you say? So I put 189 RMB, it's about $26. Now let me show you something interesting. So here I'm going to go ahead and change the interface to English, which will also charge me in USD, and I'm going to look at the same pricing. Oh, what is that? Now it's $65 to do 180 days versus $26. You can see that this is just one case. There's many scenarios with virtual products, even like gaming products. Like if you buy an add-on for a game in one country, the price is very different in another country in another currency. Something that I also do is like my hosting website is GoDaddy. They do the hosting of my website for Borderless commerce for those that need sourcing or anything like that. And if you go all the way down, you can see here you can choose the currency and you can choose the language. And yes, you're right. They charge you a lot more if you choose USD versus choosing like another currency like maybe Thai baht or Indian rupees. And you can get even more discounts, even like 30-40% of the price if you just have a credit card that accepts foreign transactions and you pay a little bit on foreign transaction fees, but you still save a lot of money. So I want to show you some examples with virtual products, but this also applies to products being sold in China, virtual or physical. Most people know Alibaba, and let's say I want to buy claw machines that you just want to run a claw business in your country, Toy Story style. There are some reasons that Alibaba may charge more than local provider in China on 1688. One of those reasons is probably because of certification. So if you like look for a product, let's say I want to get a drone. So I type in drone on Alibaba. What you can do in Alibaba, in this case, I'm searching for drones, right? And on the left here, filter by trade assurance, verified suppliers, but more importantly, product certifications. Or if you're in the UK and you need like UKCA, you can filter by these selections. And why am I mentioning this? It costs a lot of money to get these certifications sometimes. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes they're just, trying to get the best out of their buck for the product. But yeah, sometimes it costs more. So that may be a reason why they may charge more in your country than in their country. But I'm going to pick a random product just to show you. So one of these claw machines, this is just a random one I found on 1688. Now granted, this is just the cost of the product. It doesn't include the cost of shipping yet. That will be calculated because this is a big item, right? This is pretty heavy and big. It's not like your typical e-packet small product. And you can see it's around $370 per item without accounting for import taxes and shipping. Now, I do need to put a caveat here. In this case with Alibaba, they may have shipping channels that are very affordable and cheap compared to what you have personally. So if you're a business and you have a relationship with a freight forwarder in China, you may get similar or the same rates as Alibaba. But if you're just getting started, it's probably better just get the product on the platform just because It will also include the shipping and the import taxes that you need to calculate for the bottom line. In most cases, once you find a decent freight forwarder in China, most of your products will be cheaper than you see them on Alibaba. Back to this claw machines, and if you look for it on its counterpart 1688, I just did a reverse image search. There's a lot of options here. It was $370, and then I found a supplier here that can sell them essentially the same product, 2,280 RMB, and they have cheaper options too, but let's just go with the 2,280. If I put 2,280 here, so 2,280 Chinese yuan to US dollars, you can see it's around 316, 317 change, which is, if you buy multiple of these, multiple sets of these, it will save you a lot of money in the long run. Plus, Alibaba tends to have higher MOQs. Here it says you need to buy a minimum of 2 products. This supplier is more than happy to sell it to you just buying one. And these price differences usually work on a case by case scenario, because if you have like a high ticket item, you might be able to save more paying the supplier directly in Chinese yuan versus USD. But there are some products, like if you go on AliExpress, the price difference is so minimal that even if you purchase 1,000, you might be saving a penny per, and it's probably not worth it going through the hassle of the extra steps you need to take to convert the USD to Chinese yuan and paying the supplier directly. But knowing that information, if you want to know more about the differences of how to use 1688 and Alibaba for your sourcing business, I highly recommend you watch this video right here.